Ayo, it's Louie and I'm back at Swine. Starting the new year with a continuation of my last project I finished back in October, my green corduroy jacket. I had a lot of scraps left over after making the jacket, so I decided to incorporate them into a pair of cargo pants as a racing stripe of sorts. I popped to my local fabric store and picked up some black canvas and created a rough design of the cargs based on a few pairs of trousers, but then I kind of realised that I don't know how to make trousers full stop, so I could use a pattern. Before making my jacket, I'd made a shirt, which I used a pattern for the shirt, and I kind of got the confidence from making the shirt from the pattern, blah blah blah. After looking around the interweb, I found Glory Allen's cargo pant pattern. Let me try saying that, cargo pant, and bought the design, but I was impatient and I was cheap and I had to assemble it myself, which sucked, and it wasn't even faster than waiting for the postage, and Snapper Snaps charged me way too much money to do it, so it wasn't even cheaper in the end, and it just sucked. The whole thing just sucked. I traced the pattern to my sizes, made a few adjustments, cut them out, and then began copying them onto the canvas fabric, but it's getting late, so...
To be continued.
Ayo, it's Louie and I'm continuing my cargo pants. First I had to pick up some new chalk/wax as my pencil was short as hell, and then had to finish up the drawing and the cutting of the fabric. I was about to begin sewing when I decided to actually plan ahead and guesstimate the center of the back or butt pocket. I say guesstimate because, well, just in case it goes wrong, but I'm pretty confident that when the flaps are over the pockets, that mark is center. This is for two snazzy Cyber Swine emerald logos, one on each cheek, and then they'll match the jacket. Less than 2 hours later, the embroidery was ready, which was way faster than I thought, so I picked them up, but seeing as I'm nowhere near working on them, put them to the side. First I had to decide what colour thread I was going to use. Green, obviously. All I managed today was connecting the front legs at the crotch and making and attaching the front pockets to the front legs. The machine started jamming at this point, so to avoid throwing out the window like this, I thought I'd call it an evening. So...
To be continued.
Ayo, it's Louie, this is part 3 of the cargo pant video. I didn't show you the pockets being made in the last video, so here's a little bit of that. You're welcome. I was meant to work on the fly zipper, but instead I felt like starting the back pockets, and oh boy are they looking good. They're just going to be pinned for now though, as I still need to figure out the green corduroy racing stripes. Because of this I decided to pin the pants together, as they are a 38-inch waist and I'm way closer to a 34 to 36-inch waist. Why didn't I just choose a 34/36? Because I'm dumb.
Dumb bitch.
And I have a big ass and thighs and I wanted the extra space. I will need to figure out some ways of fixing the waist, but for now...
To be continued.
Ayo, it's Louie, and welcome to the darker, grittier second act of this making of video, making cargo pants, the series. So I finally decided to move on to the fly, the bit I was dreading, and I was right to dread this bit. So just to explain, the pattern I'm using has a button fly rather than a zip fly. I decided to use a zip anyway, not knowing this was going to be like a massive problem. The rest of this video is just my descent into madness that equals around 3 hours of my life. Hope you enjoy me being sad.
I don't know. Oh, well, we're just gonna do it. I don't fucking know. I'm just so lost.
5 minutes later.
Bing bong. I don't understand. That's defo wrong. Again. It's upside down. Which is what I thought it was gonna do wrong. Still makes no sense. It still just doesn't make any fucking sense. How can you connect all of them at the same time when they're not? It's gonna seal that shut.
1 hour later.
Yeah. I'm just doing what I did literally 10 minutes ago. Probably an hour ago. Yeah, I swear I'm right. Alright, just cut the video.
Will I figure it out? Tune in to the next part, that's probably coming out tomorrow. Spoiler alert, I actually do figure out. Ayo, this is Louie and this is part 5 of making my cargo pants.
Okay, so, I think I figured this out yesterday. I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah, I didn't write anything into the script for this bit. So weird.
Haha! I did it. Fuck you, everyone. I mean, there's a gap at the bottom, but that's fixable. I'm the best!
Well, a little late for high fives on this one, fellas.
With the fly sorted, I can move on to the racing stripe. Originally, I was going to use the 2 largest scrap pieces of corduroy as the top of the racing stripe, and then attach random pieces to finish the length of the leg. But these patched versions actually came out really nice, and I decided to make them the top. It's incredibly hard to actually tell that they're pieces, but sometimes I like catch them, and yeah, they just look a lot nicer. I pinned the stripes to the pants to make sure they weren't eating up too much space on the back. I also moved the pockets in slightly just to give them a bit of space, but not too much much because I didn't want my arse to look cross-eyed. I also decided in the end to bring the seam of the pants in by an inch on both sides to relieve the waist slightly and remove some excess of the stripe. I also hemmed the stripe on the front side by about an inch, making the stripe around 2 to 2.5 inches thick overall. Anyway, we're close to the end of the videos now, guys, so thank you for watching, and
To be continued.
hey yo, it's Louis, and this is the final part of me making cargo pants. After pinning the back booty pockets and the racing stripes in the last part, I got to finally attach them and sew the seat or the butt, and boom, we're getting somewhere. But you can't call the pants cargo pants without cargo pockets. After referencing my pattern by Gloria Allen, and seeing I still had some corduroy scraps left, I decided to extend the racing stripe onto the pockets, letting them sit in the middle fold of the pockets. This really became difficult because of all the layers of fabric, in some cases 6 layers with all the folds and hems. I then added big old flaps to the pockets, and hell yes, we're looking good. With all this complete, I could move on to the waistband, which I was assured was going to be one of the hardest parts of the pants, but after the extra layered pockets and that shit show that was the fly, ended up being a breeze. The only thing I had to add was pleats to the waist, which I added just above the back pockets. I did have to ad-lib these, but I'm quite happy with the results. I started off with about an inch and moved that down to about half an inch on each one. Finally, I stitched the inside legs, hemmed the bottom of the pants, which again was a strain because of all the layers around the racing stripes, added the belt loops, and then hand sew the fly button, which matches the jacket. And here it is, the final product. I hope you all enjoyed watching these videos as much as I did making them. And
Now it is finished.